Nelson Alcantara, H-Urban News. Which, in UNWTO's eyes, is the bigger monster? Which one are you tackling first? Poverty reduction or global warming or climate change?
First of all, the UN system itself has said there must be a coherent strategy for dealing with both. We don't think, Taleb used the word responsibility. We don't think we have the option of saying one is a bigger monster than the other. They're both big monsters. We have to put in place, and we aren't going to be the magic answer in both of these cases. What we have to do is make sure that the 150 members of UNWTO and the private sector see a strategic approach in both, which is not conflicting, that you don't do something about climate change which particularly impacts on the poor countries, or vice versa. And it's more likely to be doing something wrong about climate change which impacts on the poor countries. So the answer to the question is, we are doing everything to try to pursue those two strategies at the same time, and we believe they are entirely compatible if you adapt, mitigate, use technology and bring into play financing. The financing is the key. It's going to take hundreds of millions of dollars, and it's the poor countries that are going to need it. And many of those poor countries are small island developing states or low-lying coastal states who will be most affected.
Just one thing is that tourism may be a target because of its image. You know, in the mind of people, tourism is something which is not very serious. It's about not working, about leisure, about resting, relaxing. So if we have to cut the emission of carbon somewhere, people will think it's easier to do it in something which is not vital and essential. And in some part of the world, you have a pressure in the medias, in the NGO, in the environmental groups on this, saying don't fly from Western Europe to Asia or to Latin America, you will save 5, 6, 7 tons of carbon. Maybe yes, but at the same time you will destroy the jobs in Colombia, in Vietnam, or in the Philippines. So this is why we have to be very careful about that, and to deliver the right message that yes, tourism is for a large part for rich people, but works for the poor people and creates a job for the poor people. This is really the message we have to convey, and I did it, as Jeffrey recalled, at what we call the CEB, which is the meeting of the Secretary General of the UN, all the chief of agency, World Bank, IMF, and we were able to convey this message. It's part now of the UN message for the Bali conference.